I come from a humble background, a family with limited means. I was always fascinated with aviation and wanted to fly, but financially it didn't seem possible. To make matters worse, I had my sights on helicopters, costing twice as much as airplanes. My path to the skies seemed far-fetched, and even traditional college seemed out of my league. Loans were the only path, but my parents almost faced bankruptcy twice. They lacked the credit to co-sign. This is not a jab at them. They did manage to raise 7 kids and never did end up filing for bankruptcy. At 17, I started working at Discover Card. Through those years, I immersed myself in the world of credit scores, absorbing every nuance. By 20, my credit score was good enough to secure $86,000 in student loans without a cosigner. It was the start I needed. As I neared the end of my training, I had to get creative. I took a loan out of my car and carried a credit card balance for the first time ever, but I did see it through. During my 15 years of flying, my wife and I eliminated the student loans and secured financial freedom, but aviation came with a new sacrifice. I spent half my life away from home. I value relationships and experiences over everything else, and I was missing out on a lot. Something needed to change. I transitioned into financial planning and advising and uncovered something interesting. There are several parallels between flight planning and financial planning. Having crafted thousands of flight plans, I identified 3 key similarities. The first, preparation is vital. In EMS, we never knew where our next call would take us. We had to be prepared for it all. In life, readiness for all paths can bring peace. We don't know when or how events will unfold, but there are still things we can address to be better prepared for those unknowns. Second, detailed planning is paramount. When the calls would come in, simply knowing where we were going wasn't enough. We had to calculate distance and winds to determine time and route and fuel requirements. That would impact our weight and performance, which dictated how high we could land. And if the weather was questionable, we would have to plan an alternate route, requiring a whole new set of calculations. In financial planning, that call coming in is like a critical financial event. Things like retirement, education, expenses, the sale of an asset, or the death of a loved one. Those things that require detailed planning. While we prepared from the big picture view, the unfolding of certain life events gives us the details needed to dive into a deeper, more granular strategy. These events usually dictate a meeting where we come out the other end with a better understanding of how to move forward. Last, but probably the most profound, risk management. In EMS, there is a saying, we aren't paid to fly, we are paid to say no. Everyone is eager to fly and save lives. Declining flights when conditions aren't optimal, that is what makes a good pilot great. Financial planning requires the same diligence. Your plan is only as good as the guardrails we put into place. Investments shouldn't be so bold that you're at high risk of losing it all, but they still require exposure to the markets to extents reasonable to hit your personal financial goals. It is this fragile balance that we take more seriously than anything else. It is your hard-earned money, and it deserves the utmost diligence to be managed around your goals. Multidisciplinary learning suggests that there is as much to learn about your field and other fields that there is to learn within. My journey from a skateboarder to the skies and now financial planning has cemented that concept for me. I have learned that determination, coupled with adaptability and persistence, can open up a limitless world where you can achieve anything. And my story is just getting started.